Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to talk about some various questions that someone called Camilla Sanchez asked me to look at. I know her through Facebook, I think, on the English language group on there. So thank you to Camilla for these questions, and I hope that my answers will be helpful. I will start with explaining the differences between some similar words in terms of pronunciation, and then Camilla asked me to look at or talk about some of the different accents that we have in Britain. That's a very complicated area, but I will talk about some of the most famous ones to give you a flavour of what's going on here. Then there are a couple of other things, and at the end I'm going to talk about the different websites that you can use. So if you look, as usual, below the video, on YouTube it will be in the description, or on the other websites it will be posted below the video itself. You will find the notes section where all the words and terminology will be that I am going to talk about. And firstly, right below the word notes, there are some other words which Camilla sent to me to explain how to pronounce differently. The first three lines there, bad and bed, man and men, and end. The key here, all three are fairly similar, is the sound of the A and the E. And in each of the words you want to say it like a or e. A, e. So bad, bed, man, men, and end. I think it's the same sound for each word. The vowel is making the same sound. A, e. Bad, bed, man, men, and end. Below that, this is a really difficult one. The sound of the word is the same, and really when I was thinking, I thought that there wasn't a difference there and there. I think there is a very, very small difference, and it is to do with not the pronunciation, but the emphasis. So for there, which is the possessive pronoun, there, you emphasize the E and the I more. It's like the and air, there. Whereas for the other one, there, as in the location, there, the emphasis is more on the first syllable, the T and H. There, there. I hope that you can understand the difference. I think it's very difficult. There, there. It's really hard, I know, but I hope that can help you a little bit. Below that, this one is simpler. Of, off. So it will help if I just take a break to explain something below that. If you look down the notes, there is a section called Phonetics, okay? So that refers to writing a word the way it is pronounced, as opposed to the grammatical spelling. The example I've got there is London, which written phonetically is L-U-N-D-U-N, because we pronounce it London, which is different from how it's written, as you can see that example. So back to the top, you see of, the first one, O-F. Phonetically, I would write O-V, of, and then off, where you pronounce, you can really hear the double F there, off. So of, off, of, off. Below that is one I added. Again, very similar, but listen to this. Are, our. Are, our. So they are our lunch, something like that. Are, our. For the second one, you're making is a lot longer, the sound of the O and the U. Our, our. Now I hope that I have helped with some explanation, but I am not a professional, so I don't know how to explain perfectly. The link below, the BBC link, gives very technical videos of how to pronounce the different vowel sounds in English. Yeah, I don't know about it, but I really recommend you check that. Now another one, this is from another friend called Sile or Sophie, who is Chinese. I know her from Cardiff, and she told me to explain something, so I have to do it. And it was relates to the numbers one that I did. It was video 2. And I think I mentioned it there, but I will do it again for you. So it's the difference between, for example, 17 and 70. If you check there, check the phonetics again, you'll see the main thing, of course, is that 17 has the N on the end, but also you want to make the E's a lot longer. 17, 70. So for 70, 70, the sound at the end is a lot shorter. 70. And then for 17, you want to make the sound a lot longer and finish with the N. Pronounce it clearly. 17. And it's the same for 18 and 80, 19 and 90. This is sometimes even native speakers get confused with these numbers. Now to British accents. Unfortunately, I cannot do impressions of different accents. I don't have talent. But you can find some videos of people who do. Please see the links there at the top that I have put. There are 2 from YouTube. One is very famous, of a young man who does many different accents, many of them from Britain. So you can watch that one. I think it's good. Then below that is another one which I watched quickly. I hope it will be useful. And below that, British Library English accents. This is really an interesting one where you can see a map of the UK and click on the different parts, and they give you examples of people speaking in many different accents. So I hope that those links will be useful to you. The famous accents, if you look below that, again in the notes section. So if you're from London, it's a Cockney accent. Okay, I am not going to do an impression, I can't do it. I'm just telling you about some of the famous accents. In Birmingham, it's a Brum or Brummy accent. Liverpool, Scouse accent. They're very famous, those ones. Newcastle, Geordie accent. Glasgow, it's a Glaswegian accent. There is something called a West Country accent, which is for people from Somerset or Dorset. That's probably in the southwest of the map of the UK. And then other places, just some examples are Yorkshire, Manchester, and of course Wales, Scotland and Ireland. But in the UK, there are so many different accents, it's impossible to talk about them all. So I recommend that you search on Google for both accents and for examples of them. You can find many on YouTube which will be helpful for you. But really in the UK there are so many, so it's difficult to explain about all of them. This is another accent below that, received pronunciation, and I've put a little explanation there because I think that I speak with this. It actually is the noun of an accent for the kind of standard in the south of England, similar to my accent, I think. So I believe I'm speaking with received pronunciation, and the link there, again from the British Library, explains more about it. So those were the main questions that Camilla asked, I believe, and some of them are very good questions and quite difficult to answer. So I hope that I've done okay and that this video has been useful for you. Finally, if you don't already know, at the bottom of the notes section are all the websites, so please look at those. There's the WordPress blog on Twitter, Facebook group, the YouTube channel link there, the the group for videos on the website Busu that I use a lot. And if you're Chinese, there are links to Youku where you can see them in China. And finally, if you use QQ, this is for people in China, I have an English language group on QQ also, and there is the group ID 146876266. If I receive a request for people to join, then I always accept them, so you are welcome to join there. So again, the group ID is 146876266, and everyone is welcome, okay? So I have covered all the questions, I believe. Thank you, Camilla, for asking them, and everyone else is welcome to ask questions. I will try to answer them as soon as possible. Thank you to everyone for watching, and see you next time.